Sean's going to be trying to also be dangerous in the postseason. All depending on Dallas's offense. Everything Sean's team is predicated on Dallas's offense. I'm so glad I got him to buy into that to get Deontay Johnson from him.
I'm really glad I started the stream and we're just talking about this shit over.
That's great. I'm glad. I'm gonna keep talking anyways. It's great to. I feel good about talking them into buying Dallas's offense. I'm like, you already have Zeke and CD. Like, here's Lamb, and then he asked for Pollard. I'm like, fine, just give me Deontay Johnson.
Welcome to Beerfield, where the only way to shut Dan up before a Sunday stream is to treat him like it's the Oscars. I am your host, Beerfield Hop.
I'm famous done.
I am your host, Beerfield Hop, with 2 P's. As always, joined by Beerfield Thury, 2 E's in beer. That's how you spell beer, 2 E's. Yeah, week 12.
I just clicked the YouTube link, and then as soon as it popped up was me yelling, "Your time frame is done." So I feel bad for the listeners because I was like, that's kind of loud, but
it is kind of loud.
They understand.
Speaking of kind of loud, we are on laptop McCown still. Got the part ordered to get back to our normal recording setup, but not supposed to be here till next Friday because my cheap ass doesn't pay for Amazon Prime. So, yeah, when it gets here, we'll get that all fixed up. But laptop McCown probably in for at least one more start, which is okay. It's a quality backup.
It is a quality backup. That laptop's been like beast.
Oh, this is a new one.
Well, I know.
Yeah.
But it's still been beast mode.
It has been beast mode. Every laptop I've had has been beast mode. The last one took 4 beer spills before it finally died.
That one's just a drunk. That one likes to take a bit of punishment before it finally takes or goes over the top.
Yeah, just a touch. The laptop's been replaced 3 times since my desktop's been replaced. So
that's fair.
Morning,
Colton.
It's time. Good morning, Colton. All right. I guess we should get into some of who's in, who's out, and all of that fun stuff.
Happy Turkey Day to you, Alex, as well.
Thanksgivings were pretty good.
What's good?
Still be mashing some leftovers. Plenty of alcohol. Bourbon County hunting, even better.
I made I also made money in Team Under. I had Zack Moss in, so I did find out that if you win a parlay with a player that was ruled out,
I figured this out last week.
They also remove said player, and then you get a 3-leg parlay, or you get the one less parlay. So
yep, I figured that out last week with Peoples Jones that they'll remove that one player and pay out the rest of the parlay. So
jumping into questions, Colton already. Ty Johnson, Rex Burkhead, half PPR. I think the answer is Ty Johnson.
I think the answer is Ty Johnson.
Burkhead got a lot of carries, hyper inefficient.
Yeah, Texans can't run block for David shit.
Johnson. Yeah, he at least Ty Johnson's athletic. He's also not the most efficient, but he catches passes.
He's not old.
He's more explosive.
Jets' offensive line has proven they can run block a little bit, unlike the Texans.
Yeah. Well, we do know the answer is going to be Tevin Coleman and David Johnson, so it doesn't even matter.
Right.
It doesn't even matter.
Might as well be, based on what we think we know.
Gross.
Let's see. Matt Stafford. Apparently dealing with elbow pain and a chronic back issue. The Rams are coming off the bye week. So, be interesting to see how they adjust that, if anything. ESPN's predicting more to a run and quick passing game, but who knows?
This might be a glimpse. This might be a glimpse of maybe seeing how teams are going to handle, situations like this with the extra game, with only one team from each conference on bye. The Rams are vying for that one seed here, especially with Dallas losing 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if teams are going to, Dallas said they want to sit Zeke potentially next week. I wonder if we're going to see maybe some teams getting not ahead of themselves and trying to play a guy like Stafford. I know it may seem a little out there, but I'm wondering if we're going to see a little glimpse into that as teams trying to sit with one extra game going.
Well, and here's why you need a quality backup, right? Because if you are not Arizona, right? They've handled the Kyler situation perfectly, and Colt McCoy having a team around him has been perfectly adequate, which is how his wife describes him too. Perfectly adequate. But for the Rams,
he gets the job done.
He gets the job done. But for the Rams with John Wolford, you don't necessarily have that. Now you got a banged up quarterback that you need for the stretch run, but you've got a backup that I don't know that they trust necessarily plugging him in the way that the Cardinals trust plugging in Colt McCoy or some other teams might be able to do with their backup quarterback situation. So it's just one of those things where I think the quality backup is going to become more and more important to get the veteran backup, the fringe former starter in there, kind of like the Bears having Andy Dalton, where you could trust him for a game or two if you need to get your guy healthy.
Or all we talked about with Green Bay off air is if a team right before the bye, which is going to tie into Alex's question. He's asking Judy or Javonte in halfway PPR, and then he asked, would you start AJ Dillon over either of them if Jones is active? I think you play Dillon if Jones isn't playing. That's a tough call. I think it's also a 3 p.m. game.
Right. And the Chargers give up a lot through the air. Javonte, the problem there is that he doesn't really get the receiving work and he doesn't really get the goal line work. He's been much more efficient and is starting to eat into Melvin Gordon's workload, but at least going into the bye, what we know about that situation is while it's been basically a 50-50 split, Melvin Gordon is getting the receiving work, Melvin Gordon is getting the goal line work. And Javonte Williams' inefficiencies around the goal line is something that carried over from college as well. So I would probably lean Judy if Jones goes. If not, it's Dillon.
Thankfully, both games are 3:00, so you'll have an idea about 2:30 between both games if Jones is going to play. I don't think he is. I think it sets up perfectly with Green Bay's bye next week for Jones not to play. Again, as we talked off there, Green Bay likes to be more cautious with their stars. Devontae Adams dealt with this, I believe, this year for a little bit. There was a week or two that he wanted to play. The coaching staff says, no, fuck it. We're going to keep you on the bench. And then, I have 2 spots to start 2. So I would play Judy in 1 at least. And then, and then I think I would play Dillon over him regardless if Jones is active. So Dillon's been getting a lot more work. And if Jones is his true 50-50, they may be more cautious with him if he plays and tweaks. So I'm Judy Dillon no matter what.
Checking on routes run between Gordon and Javonte to make sure that hasn't shifted from early season.
I think you saw a little bit of a change last time out.
The target volume has been more tilted towards Gordon, but routes run is relatively the same. And snap share wise, Gordon has gone down each of the last 4 weeks.
Yeah. It's something to keep an eye on. I don't ever see it swaying to a Javonte takes on more.
Yeah.
But it wherever Denver lies in the playoff race, they're going to try to keep both players around 50-50.
Yeah.
So I'm still Judy Dillon.
And while it shifted a little bit, it is still very close to 50-50. So
yeah, which I expect it to remain.
I would
the same
still also go Judy Dillon. Deonta Foreman should get the bulk of the carries for the Titans in Week 12. That's kind of what we're expecting. No Jeremy McNichols. Dontrell Hilliard will get the receiving work. CeeDee Lamb, he'll play Week 13. Didn't do much. Well, he didn't play on Thursday, so of course he didn't do much. Patterson.
Didn't.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just making a joke. You're good.
Make the joke. Patterson.
I was say
game time decision. Now make the joke.
Yeah. I was going to say he can't score points if he's not playing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I think most people would agree with you. Thanks for that.
Tough. It's a bit tough, but that's what I'm here for. So,
Marquise Brown expected to play against the Browns. So, Hollywood's been great for best ball. He's been very, very good in all other formats. He's got a ton of upside to him.
He's been great.
You got to leave him plugged in if he goes. Elijah Mitchell expected to play Week 12 against the Vikings. The current running back landscape, he's absolutely a plug and play when he's healthy, in my opinion.
It's gonna be a shootout. Niners offense is rising. Minnesota's offense has been great all year. Both defenses are have a lot to be desired.
San Francisco wants to run the football.
Yeah, I mean that they can try. I mean, so does Minnesota. So it could if both running games are effective, it could definitely be a little slower pace. But one team gets going, one team gets hot, and then it could turn into a shootout pretty quickly. Alex, another question: MVS or Alex Collins at half point PPR? With the tiered tight end premium, he also included Conklin in this question.
So Valdez-Scantling, I think, saw 10 targets last week, caught 4 of them. But the thing is that he's getting all the air yards.
He's the true boom bust play. I mean, that's in Green Bay. No matter, regardless of Rodgers' health, he will push it deep.
Right. Alex Collins, they've got the football team on Monday night. It's an okay matchup, but he's coming off an injury. Seattle's offense is just kind of out of sync ever since Russ got back.
Russ probably still needs battling back from the injury that he suffered too. So, and that Seattle, like you said, that Seattle offense has just been kind of meh.
Hines, Foreman, Scott. Foreman's got an inefficient matchup against the Patriots. I would probably take the YOLO throw at Valdez-Scantling on that one.
Yeah, I mean, if the target volume's there, I mean, that's also a great thing, right? It sucks when you have a boom bust guy who's not getting, the volume, but seeing 10 targets, the Rams are up. That Ramsey, who hasn't shadowed much this year, will likely shadow Adams, or at least you may see a little more of it.
Yep.
Which leaves a lot of openness potentially for MVS. And even though it's a 3:00 game and the Rams' offense has kind of been up and down, there's a good chance that MVS, gets at least 3 or 4 of those deep shots. And all he needs is one.
Right. And that's the upside is just so much more without that Scantling than it is any of those other
for
guys.
all these guys. Yeah. I mean, at least with Deonta Foreman, he's supposed to get the bulk of the carries. So.
Yeah, it's just probably going to be really inefficient.
Yeah, it's obviously against the Patriots, so good luck. Tough defense.
New England rundown real quick. Hunter Henry, questionable, should play Week 12. Ramondre Stevenson expected to play.
These are all active.
Damian Harris are expected to play. So a lot of guys banged up, but active nonetheless.
All three players. All 3 players.
Yeah. Official inactives running in. Jordan Howard is out. We knew that was going to happen. Nothing else really there. For the Steelers, Joe Hayden is out. Minka Fitzpatrick and TJ Watt are back. So it's going to be a little bit of a downgrade to the Bengals.
Another question. Rashad Bateman or Boston Scott?
Bateman,
yeah. All formats. Scott will probably get some increased work, but
with Sanders healthy, you're not going to roll out Boston Scott to get the other half of that work. Jordan Howard was getting preference over him, so.
Plus, with Howard out, also Gainwell should be active, which we've seen before the Miles Sanders injury. He was the backup to Sanders, so maybe we see a little more Gainwell.
I think you're just hoping there.
Yeah, well, sure, but I'm still playing Bateman regardless.
No Deion Jones for the Falcons. Corey Davis inactive for Week 12 against the Texans. So,
just hope Zach Wilson can throw the ball to Elijah Moore.
More.
All I care about. You have one job now.
All right. We wait with bated breath every week for the Giants injury report. Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard are inactive, as is Kyle Rudolph and Caden Smith, which has meant nothing for Evan Ingram. So,
Right.
Kenny Galladay and Darius Slayton, your wide receivers this week for your New York Football Giants.
Yikes.
All the Patriots I just mentioned are officially active.
Yep.
Tight end Jeff Driscoll still in quotes for the Texans inactive.
I love that so much. Things you love to see.
Let's see. For the Bengals, no surprises. We already mentioned Stevenson being active. Cordero Patterson is active against the Jaguars.
Good.
So he's going to play. He's been their best receiver, not named Kyle Pitts. So Jeff Swain playing for the Titans. That could be bad. Are the Cowboys still banged up on the O-line? Steele started for Tyron Smith, who was sidelined.
He's been bad.
Moved to right tackle.
Steele guy. It's like he's I don't know if you've seen the video of Max Crosby just plowing through.
Yeah.
A Dallas tackle. That was the Dallas tackle. He just completely.
La'el Collins is back, actually, after he was inexplicably benched for Terrence Steele. So basically, they're just putting their starter back in now without Steele there. Sounds like good. Smith will play.
Yeah.
And La'el Collins. So actually should be an upgrade for the Cowboys.
Alex Axon again. Scott Fishbowl, Gerald Everett, Jeff Wilson with Mitchell active. He also has Trey Sermon. So with Mitchell active, Everett, Wilson, or Sermon.
Jeff Wilson, to me, has like almost no value with Mitchell active.
I think it's Everett. I think you just gotta
hold Everett, but it's not pretty. I don't feel good about it.
And Deontay Foreman and Mike Davis. So, I mean, if you have to pick between everybody, I'm playing Foreman there.
Yeah, I'm playing Foreman.
Yeah. If Foreman's involved in that question, I'm also playing Foreman.
Yeah, I know there's premium there for tight ends, but Gerald Everett and his 3 targets isn't the premium I'm looking for. So I'll take Foreman.
Foreman has the best chance for a touchdown out of all of them. So it's not a high chance, but neither is any of them. And Mike Davis has been almost phased out of that offense with
he has.
He's been out carried by
Zigbo.
Yep.
Was that right?
Yeah, I think it's Zigbo. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back and look at last week now just to see. There's somebody.
Well, I know that Mike Davis he's been out touched. I think he's been. Yeah.
No, there was somebody else too that I can't think of. Quadri Olison.
That's who it was. Olison.
That's who we were looking for. Quadri Olison out-carried him. Yeah, he was tied with Keith Smith in carries.
Yikes.
Let's see. Still nothing official on Jones. Saquon Barkley going to play against the Eagles. Dave Gettleman likely out, which, duh.
Yeah.
Travis Homer is out. Rashad Penny is out. Alex Collins actually is just going to be sharing with DJ Dallas.
That's I don't. I want almost nothing to do with
fire.
It. Yeah, it's not good. It's no. Just no.
Michael Carter and Eric Ebron to IR. We kind of knew that. Freiermuth gets touchdowns.
Basically, all you want from your tight end and hope for is just, well, if they can't get any real production, can they at least be in an offense that scores touchdowns? Well, Pittsburgh didn't score a lot of them.
No, they do not.
He somehow gets them.
All right, couple more rounds of inactives coming in. Vita Vea going to play for Tampa Bay. So, again, don't expect Jonathan Taylor to get 5 touchdowns. It's still Jonathan Taylor. For the Jaguars, nothing surprising there. Yeah, they're down Shaq Griffin. That's about it. So that doesn't do much for you. The Bucks, no Antonio Brown, which is expected. He has Olsen. All the bad running backs, me too. Cordero Patterson or Devonta Freeman, half PPR.
Ooh, I think Patterson. If he's healthy, he's gonna get receiving work. So.
Yeah, I'm also with Patterson there for the exact same reason. If he's healthy, he gets receiving work. Freeman's been a nice little piece in spot starts, but Patterson's a lot more consistent as well.
If Freeman had a little bit better of a matchup and I felt a little more confident in Tennessee's offense as a whole, I'd be more inclined to want to play Freeman.
Baltimore's?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Wrong Freeman.
I'm thinking of Foreman. I'm really on Foreman here.
Yeah, you're on Foreman. Devonta Freeman. I mean, your points make sense, though.
It's still
talking
kind
about
of
the running back. It's kind of the same, right?
I mean,
Cleveland's an all right matchup. I'm not necessarily sold on the workload Freeman's getting. He's almost touchdown dependent. He's getting workload. Latavius Murray's back, so we got to watch how that balances out. But
yeah, I'm still playing with Patterson. Higher upside and probably similar floor, if not.
It's a better floor for me.
Yeah,
I think the upside. It might be closer, but the floor is way different, in my opinion. Either way, regardless of our reasoning, we're both on Patterson.
Yeah, same difference.
Yeah,
we got there.
We did get there, indeed. Left Hunter Renfrow on my bench for the first time in weeks, and he puts up his best game of the season.
He decides to have his best game of his career. No, that happens.
He's having himself a year.
He really is. So I can play Kareem Hunt this week.
Oh, yeah, Kareem Hunt's back. If I had known then what I know now, let's see if I can actually make that switch. Kareem Hunt or Damian Harris?
Kareem Hunt. Oh, fuck. Yeah, Kareem Hunt.
Only Scott Fishbowl. No big deal.
Yeah. No big deal. It's only Scott Fish.
Oh, shit. I had to add Mark Ingram in, who was out on Thursday. I missed it because of Thanksgiving.
Oh, well, that's pooey.
That is a really bad thing to do in that league, too. Oops. Good thing Dawson Knox went off. And Hunter Renfrow, huh?
Right?
On a week I have to start Nelson Aguilar.
He might get a touchdown. Might get one.
Oof, that's gross. Not like I have better options than Aguilar either. T.Y. Hilton, Alan Lazard, Cortland Sutton, or Nelson Aguilar.
Cortland Sutton.
All this shit for upside. Yeah. Oops.
Oops.
Yep, flip that shit around for upside. My bad. My bad. I don't even know why I had Ingram. Oh, I do know I had Ingram plugged in there because on Wednesday there was still a chance he played. And then I went off to do holiday and Thanksgiving stuff and missed the inactives.
Stupid holiday stuff.
Yeah, we're human. But yes, stupid holiday stuff.
Stupid holiday stuff.
So, we should really have more talking points for these shows just in case we hit lulls like this.
Well, I mean, normally we have, asking for friends. And we've had, a fair amount of our questions.
I don't know that I really have asking for friends this week.
No, I agree. I mean, at this point, a lot of them are. I'm playing, my redrafts have not gone particularly well.
I'm in playoff contention almost everywhere, but I mean, because of the 3 Thursday games, I lost a lot of.
It takes up. It can eat up a lot of spots. 6 teams playing. All at least
Carson Wentz or Tua Tagovailoa.
Wentz gets buff. No, who's
Colts
are playing Tampa.
Yep.
Miami's playing Tampa, Carolina.
Yeah.
Wentz probably. I mean, yeah. Okay. A better chance for a shootout. Give me Wentz against. Even though B of A is back, which should help, and with the interior more so against the run, maybe some added pressure, but that secondary still beat the shit. So
okay, now I'm going to show you guys how this works. If you really disagree with us, thanks for your input, Dan. I'm still starting Tua.
That's effectively what happens.
It is.
I give you our opinion. I give you my opinion, and then you get to decide because you are the master of your team. Mm-hmm. Ultimately, what happens?
You can hear it, and if it's not convincing enough, take the other way.
I mean, I really wasn't trying to make it that convincing. But
no, I know.
I still would play Wentz over.
Tua's been very good since he got back, though.
He has been good. Also, lower scoring matchup that could easily be a slower pace.
Yeah.
Or it can turn into a shutout because who knows with the Panthers. I mean,
Wentz could throw 4 picks.
Wentz could throw 4 picks. Wentz could also throw 4 touchdowns in a game that sees 60 points total. I definitely not follow your advice. Sometimes.
All right, here's one for you. Pat Freiermuth or Logan Thomas returning from IR on Monday night.
Give me Freiermuth. I mean, Thomas isn't a significant enough upside, and let's see how his return is. He's been out for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yes.
I don't think you're losing much in terms of upside if you play Freiermuth over Thomas.
Nope. No, I'm not. And I also have the advantage of being able to leave because he's not going to be activated until Monday, of being able to leave Thomas on IR through this week and then making those moves afterwards. So
fair enough.
Which actually that move was just going to be to put another player on IR because that's the league where I'm holding 3 injured players on my bench.
Ouch. Oh, Zack Moss.
Yeah, Zack Moss. Gross.
Matt Breida, best running back in that backfield.
Surprise, surprise.
For the weeks that he's healthy.
But not the team savior, as Twitter wants to make it seem.
Yes. I find it funny that
there's reason Matt Breida has not stuck anywhere.
There's so many people now predicting Buffalo to take a running back this year. I'm like, didn't we go through the same shit last year?
Buffalo don't care. They don't need
I mean, they could very much pick up a veteran back that gets, cut. I mean, fuck, maybe that's where Melvin Gordon goes.
I was going to go with Marlon Mack.
Or Marlon Mack. They clearly don't value the back position that much.
No, absolutely not. They've shown that.
That's fine. That's their choice. And we've seen that their offense is capable without it, but we've also seen their offense needs a little running game to it. But
right, because
there's
no balance to it at all.
Nope, it's very predictable now. And while Josh Allen is very good, he's also very much prone to making poor decisions. So,
well, you're also putting way too much on him by not having a running game that the defense has to respect.
Exactly. I mean, obviously, you're going to see a lot more, two eye safeties. I mean, why would defense ever play a safety in the box or have to do a bigger stack box against? They're going to play nickel and dime coverage more or less than not if you're not going to run the football
or run it effectively
or
even threaten to run it effectively.
That's really it. It's just threatening to run the football. It's all it really takes. They don't do that.
You just got to have somebody they have to respect there, and they don't.
They do not respect it. No respect.
No respect. All right. Almost 11. Are we done? That's about normal for us.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I don't see any. I went through the lines. Oh, last second question. Isaiah Rose coming in hot.
Let's go.
Ty Johnson or Dontrell Hilliard?
Ty Johnson.
Ty Johnson. Hilliard will still share the backfield with Foreman. I think New England's given up a fair amount of pass or targets to running backs. Have they? They're really good against actual runners.
I'll check on that for you.
But I'll still, again, Ty Johnson's also shared the backfield with Coleman, so I get it, but let's see what he did last week.
See here for New England against the running back. So New England is 21st overall against running backs and points allowed. They have given up. Yeah, they're giving up a fair amount of targets. 94 on the season, 600 yards, not giving up receiving touchdowns.
Hilliard had 10 targets last week in a catch-up game against Houston the entire game.
Yeah, it depends on how you expect game script to go as well. But Ty Johnson's got more insulated volume is kind of the reason for that this week with no Michael Carter.
Houston got up pretty early, too. The Patriots are a run-first offense. They're slow pace. They win by just completely out-time of possession. Think of Baltimore with Lamar Jackson year one. It might be. I still think it's Ty Johnson. If you do play Hilliard, it might be a very slow burn until the fourth quarter.
Well, Ty Johnson is going to get him some receiving work too.
He will too.
He's pretty game script neutral against Houston, so I'm just on Ty Johnson.
Then if you think Houston will also get up early against them, they just gave up 10 targets to Dontrell Hilliard, so it writes itself for it. Yeah, so we're Ty Johnson. So thank you for the question and welcome to the stream.
And welcome to the stream. And now we're done with the stream. So thanks for coming.
Yeah, I quickly went through the lines again. Nothing stands out too much. I think Tampa Bay went down half a point, so I still like them.
Nice.
Cover.
And now Dan gets played off like the Oscars.
It works.